Alright, so now I'm gonna go on a little bit of a dog walk with these guys here. We're gonna go take a look at the check dams that I'm about to dig right now. So this right here will be the location of the first one. Right there. As you can see, it's a nice natural site to put a dam in. We're not gonna have to move a lot of soil, which is what you want. You always want to look for the site where you get the most effect for the least amount of soil moved. So that's already almost naturally its own check dam. So we're just gonna go ahead and dig the back wall of that out a little bit more and pile up a berm there, and voila, the dam is already built. And then from this point here, this looks like we're gonna have to survey it a little bit better, but we'll come through and survey this, make sure we can find the contour line. And then we're gonna go about 2% off contour and just run slightly off contour until we get to about this point right here. And then we've got an aguaje palm, and we'll put a little level sill spillway in right about where my feet are. And the aguaje palm will be happy because of the extra water. And as you can see, we're on the other side of this small ridge right here. So all the water that we bring over from that drainage ditch will be expelled downslope here, down to the bottom there where we're gonna dig out our well for our house. And pretty much all year there's at least some sort of trickle of water that comes down this slope. Obviously there's a lot more right now because we just had a big rainstorm last night. But even during the dry season, that whole area there is pretty moist. And the other drainage ditch is gonna end up right here about this point, right where Polly's laying down. I think that's where she wants the level sill spillway. And what doesn't flow right down the middle of that will be captured from this other slope here via the off-contour drainage ditch, and it'll flow back down into our spring-fed well for our household water supply. And then so this would be more or less the path for the drainage ditch, which will connect from one of the check dams. So this is the site of the other check dam right here. And I just started clearing the debris and removing some of the topsoil. And this is another naturally helpful location. Just studying the landscape, this looked like another good spot for a check dam because it's basically already flat and it already had a little bit of a berm there. So we're just gonna dig out this rear wall and dig it down a little bit deeper and build up the berm right here, and then connect it with the off contour drainage ditch, which connects back into the other valley right there, which will help stabilize our spring fed well for our house. Okay, here is the well that we just dug today, which is about 1.5 meters deep. Actually, probably from where I'm standing, it looks to be about 2 meters deep. And that's gonna fill up here, and we're gonna overflow it over there back into our seasonal creek. Okay, we just had a really big rain event come through here, so I'm gonna give a little tour right now of the check dams, a little update. Now they're all complete, and we dug our well for our household water. Here I am right here next to our seasonal creek. This is a creek that's almost completely dry in the summer. It just turns into a couple little mud puddles, and it's flowing really good right now. I'm gonna go check out our dams that we built. This one here hasn't filled up. We had a good amount of rain the other day. It was raining pretty much all day, and that overflowed during that rainstorm. And actually, it is overflowing just a little bit here, but that's because it's got a couple little spring lines from the subsoil right in the ditch here, so that's why that's overflowing. You can see there's our dam for the household well. Pretty good amount of flow right now. And this is the spillway for the second check dam, flowing very well right now. So this one, just after, I think it was about a half hour, the storm came through here, rained pretty strong, and it's already overflowing just in a half hour. Whereas the other one, it would probably take about 2 hours of rain to fill it and overflow it. This one, in probably less than a half hour, because normally this is pretty much at the level of the spillway because it has that little spring line coming into it there. But right now it's got a good flow. And then so both of these check dams spill out into this little valley right here and head down through there where those aguaje palms are that we planted. And we'll take a look now at our well. We just dug this 1 week ago. So it's almost turned into a little bit of a waterfall after the rainstorm. And it's completely full right now. And as you can see, the spillway is working. Just yesterday I came through here, we actually had a sunny day, and the spillway was barely flowing at all. Just a little bit of a trickle there on that part of the spillway. Right now it's flowing a lot, and the wall seems to be holding pretty well. When I was digging this overflow for the spillway, I had a little bit of a problem with a leak, but I patched it up with some of the clay and kind of tamped it down, and that seems to be working. And there's actually fish in here already. Yesterday when the sun was out, this water was already starting to clear up, and it's kind of a nice glass effect. You can see right down to the bottom just about, and so you can see all the little fish that have already gotten in there. So yeah, that's the system to provide us with household water year round. This is about 1.5 meters deep, and somewhere down there towards the bottom we actually hit a good spring line, and there's a constant flow of water. So I would expect to have year-round water in here. Alright, so here I am now above our household well, just to give you an idea of the conditions that are feeding the well. We've got those 2 check dams down there, and then this main valley right here has got quite a bit of water flow. It's been about a half hour now since the rain has passed through, and you can still see there's some good flow down there into the well. And it's coming from all the way up here on the hill. So I'll give you a little view of this area way up here on top of the hill. You can see right here there's a pretty good water flow. You can hear the sound of the water just trickling around here. This whole thing is just a big overflow of water. And yeah, I'm way up here towards the top of the hill actually, and there's this slight depression which has formed sort of a bowl in the landscape. Looks like maybe there was some sort of landslide here a few years back. Much longer before we bought the property. I would say at least 10 years ago, just judging from how it looks. And this whole area right here, I always see it full of water. So you can see there's just water trickling out of the hillside all around this area. So if that's the water that's at the surface, then beneath the surface there's a lot more water here. Yeah, there's even water way up here. Take one step and your footprint fills up with water. Yeah, I'm not sure where that originates. Maybe it's just seepage coming out of all different points of this hillside right here. But it seems to join up all together right here in this area and funnels right down there through that valley. And then it goes down into our household well. So, pretty good water supply.